Hey guys, and welcome to our episode of GEEKAMANIA. This is episode 10. Today, we've got a special guest. Say hello, Kier.
Hi.
And I'm Ben, thanks for introducing me.
I was going to use you in a second. I was going to let our guest first. And this is my partner, Ben Hopton.
That sounds so gay.
Instantly we've gone to the game.
I'm just picking up where we left off. No.
And in today's part, we're going to do top 5 superheroes. That's right?
Yes.
Top 5.
Yes, so, moving swiftly onwards from us talking about gay people, let's talk about men in tights.
That's a lot straighter.
Yeah.
Far more heterosexual, right? So
Men in tights.
Ew.
Right.
So
That's
who's
a whole nother world.
So who's going to go first then?
Well, I might as well start off. So, what? It's just...
I might as well.
Right, unless
I'm
you-
most important here.
Yeah.
Well,
You're never going to forgetting him. So let's just
Well,
start.
fine, if you guys have a problem, just go. Just start. It's fine. I have...
Or shall we let our guest go first?
No, let's
then?
not let our guest go first.
Let's let our
Fine,
guest go
well-
first. Ben, Kier,
Oh,
you go
okay.
first, dude. Who's your number 5? Who's your top 5? Number 5, your top
Number
superhero.
5 is the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Okay. Good choice. And the reason
But
for it-
why?
But why? But why?
Because even though they all get turned into heroes and they don't really get persecuted, but he's kind of more of an outcast from them all.
He's the only one who gets
Yes.
negatively
Yeah.
affected from it, really, yeah. I mean, like, Johnny Storm's like, oh, well, now I'm fucking hot as well as being hot.
I'm hot in both senses of the word.
No, you're not. But, but yeah, it's, I do like Ben Gunn.
Mm.
He's brilliant. He's just...
He's a cool...
And I just love him for his wit as well.
And our favourite wrestler says his catchphrase, "It's clobbering time."
He's not my favourite wrestler.
He's my favourite wrestler.
But yeah, it's just it's good because like you get the both sides of the mutation from it. It's like he's the grounded individual in the group as well as being the guy who's taken the hardest hit from it all.
Yeah.
They kind of tried to do that in the movie.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I really didn't like
the
either of the
less
movies.
the less said about the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four movies, the better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But-
So
Your number 5?
no, you go next.
Oh, my number 5 would be He-Man.
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 Ooh.
Yes, because he's the most powerful man in the universe.
I don't like He-Man.
And
Dolph
he,
Lundgren
and,
paid him.
yep, and
Which
he
is
has...
the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yes, and he also has a power sword, which when he goes by the power of Grayskull, he turns into He-Man.
And so does his tiger.
Yes. He's
Yeah, I
tiger.
never got that. When
His
does the tiger get superpowers as well?
Do you think the tiger knows that he's getting superpowers?
He does.
Do you think
He does.
But do you think the first time it happened, do you think he got a tiger, then went, "I'll bring you into this," or did he just jump on a tiger and go, "By the power of Grayskull," and scare the poor thing?
And the tiger's like, what the hell is going on? Right?
It's probably both. Yeah.
What is this guy in hot pants doing on me?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, ridiculous hot pants. So funny.
This podcast is going all very homoerotic. This is going terribly wrong. I
It's
apologize.
gone a lot better than it could have gone.
Yes.
At this point, Mark is
It's-
planning to be dancing to Magic Mike.
It's early days. Let's not lower the tone that quite.
Then your number 5?
Well, it's Scott Pilgrim. Not Michael Cera Scott Pilgrim, but just Scott Pilgrim from the comics. Because he's a brilliant... He's just an everyday guy who just happens to be the top fighter in Vancouver for no reason. And just happens to have superpowers that's never explained.
Top fighter in Vancouver.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
Yeah.
It doesn't sound very impressive.
That's like saying you're the best swimmer in the Sahara Desert.
Doesn't really work.
Yeah, it's just a random quote from the comics. This is like it's that's one of the best moments of the comics though. It's just like when Stephen Patel, as Matthew Patel I think his name, is just like storms in through the van and it's just like everyone's just like, oh well, what did this guy fucking expect? Scott's like the best fighter in the district, and it's just so deadpan about it. It's like, wait, what? Up until now this has been a teen drama. Why is Scott now shoryukening this guy through the roof? But yeah, it's just I like him because he's a normal guy who just
You like
happens
him?
to Lon?
You life him.
Life him?
He's
Sure I
just-
said love him, but okay.
You say you life him. You life him.
I life him because I want
You
to
more
be
than
his
love him.
life.
Okay, your number 4, my friend?
Oh, we're there already.
We are indeed.
Go.
It's not as if I'm not prepared. Let me just
Oh,
check
oh,
my
well.
notes, which I do have.
If you want, then I can just cover you and do my number 4 or Mark's number 4.
No,
if
no,
you,
no,
if
no.
this is embarrassing for you, I mean,
It's not embarrassing, please.
I mean, we could always just edit this bit out if you need more time. I
If
mean,
I need more time, please. I am prepared.
okay, well,
Okay.
I'm prepared. But after
enthrall
this
our,
one,
enthrall our audience.
enthrall. All 4 of them.
I'll have you know, we've had 90 views on some of our videos.
Mm.
Oh,
And
10
people-
off the song.
Have you finished insulting us?
Not really, but I'll
Oh.
save that for later.
Okay. Well,
Well,
so Mark, your number 4.
Yeah, my number 4 will be Wolverine.
Wolverine? Oh, well, that's my 4. Screw you.
well,
Wolverine is also...
see, this is the
Yeah,
couple
why,
logic between you.
why would you use Wolverine? Why your choice of Wolverine?
My choice for Wolverine is mainly because you're using me as an excuse so you don't have to talk about him.
No, I've got mine. My just for Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. Yours?
Well, Hugh Jackman's your reason for Wolverine. Blimey. My reason for Wolverine is because he fulfills 2 roles in the Avengers. One, he's some of the best comic relief in the whole team.
And he's a badass
And
as well.
secondly is that
Whoa,
he's...
whoa, whoa, whoa.
What?
Step on Spider-Man a bit there.
I'm coming to Spider-Man. Calm down.
And also as well, though, I love his rough voice.
But coming to
X-Men,
that, the best
I'll do.
interaction Wolverine has in the Avengers is with Spider-Man.
Mm.
And just like, they make a great comedy duo. And just like, Spider-Man and Luke Cage and Spider-Man and The Thing and Spider-Man and anything just make a brilliant comedy duo. This is like, Wolverine is like the dark side also to the Avengers. He's the guy who will just kill someone if he deems it necessary.
Yeah.
He's that perfect dichotomy of like fun and the gritty side of Marvel.
Yeah.
Which he personifies Marvel in my eyes. Which is what I love about him.
So why is he only number 4?
Because he's not as good as the other guys. Well, he can be the personification of something, but not be quite as good as.
Brilliant, eloquent explanation. Then he's just not as good.
He's just not as good.
What's your third and Kier, my friend?
My 4th. I
Your
still haven't done my
fourth.
4th.
Oh, sorry.
It's Dr. Stephen Strange.
Ah, I love Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't. I've not really read much of Strange, I'll admit.
No.
But-
But I mostly know him from Avengers stuff
Mm.
and the things in the Civil War when he was.
And in the Spider-Man cartoon as well, and he's also in Marvel's Capcom 3 Ultimate, isn't he?
I think it's because one of my favourite things that I've ever read in a comic is during the Civil War, all the heroes were going against each other, and Doctor Strange pissed off.
Yeah, he's basically just gone into recluse and he's just gone meditating, and someone's just like asking him, but you could single-handedly turn the tide of this war, and he's like, well, basically, I don't give a shit because this is a political debate, and I just want whatever's good, best for humanity. So I'll let them fucking decide. I'll
And then
sit here and fast.
And then the Watcher appears and he goes, "They're screwed, aren't they?" Yeah.
Yeah, and Strange is like, pretty much. But yeah.
What's your third then, Ben?
My number 3 would be The Punisher. And he's a bit of an anti-hero, admittedly, because he is a murderer. But
Mhm.
I just...
But he murders out of vengeance.
But
of murder.
His policy is he will only kill killers, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's just like... I love him because, strangely enough, The Punisher has been in a lot of funny books. It's just like... I mean, it's great. The great thing about Punisher, again, is that funny, dark humour
Yeah.
that is pervasive through Marvel. And, he is just a normal guy. For me, he's better than Batman. Because whilst Batman is... whilst Batman is just like, he has no powers, but he has had the most elite training and the most upper end resources and billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And the Punisher...
And still, he gets beaten by a man wearing lipstick.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
And the Punisher, on the other hand, can
Decipher.
be armed only with a white van, an M14 machine gun, a grenade launcher, and enough ammo to survive for one firefight, and still take out the entire Marvel universe.
So, in a way, the Punisher is Marvel's A-Team.
The Punisher is the A-Team in one gritty unit, with an awesome T-shirt.
That is
Yes,
true.
that is an awesome T-shirt.
And yeah, I just love him. He's a lovable psychopath, the Punisher.
You love a lot of these heroes.
I love all of them. They're very
You-
close.
A
to
lot
me.
of the more psychopathic ones. The more psychopathic
It's
they are,
because
the
I
more
can
you know.
associate them with more.
Your third and Kier?
My third, well, we've kind of done it already. Mine third is Wolverine.
My
Oh, so you
third.
play some brothers?
My third is Spider-Man, just because the fact is he's probably the Marvel character that I feel the most connection to, because I kind of feel like he could be one of us because we're geeks, and
That was
the fact he's quite witty as well. And
that was a big
quite
thing
funny.
about him, because Stanley, when he made him, he gave him like dandruff and acne and
Mm.
all everything that could possibly go wrong with teenage life. He gave him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Specifically just so that it's just like there is a bit of people to Parker and everyone.
Yeah.
It's like everyone can
And also as well, like,
associate
he's one
with
of the superheroes that people feel connected to. Like someone would maybe feel connected to, maybe people like Bruce Banner or other people, because they're quite strong, quite muscular. With Spider-Man, they feel like they could
Yeah.
be him.
It's
So
a-
that's why I like him so much.
I mean, just anyone could be bitten by a radioactive spider and
Yeah.
turn into a Superman.
It's like Daredevil. Anyone could get radioactive waste spilled onto their eyes and get superhuman abilities.
Yeah, and then just
It
get
happens.
trained to be a ninja by ninjas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It happens.
That when Ninja Turtles took homage to Daredevil to make that series, you notice the ninjas and also the acid that mutated them was apparently the acid that hurt his eyes. They kind of did it, intertwined it with Daredevil.
So basically, Daredevil is better than the Ninja Turtles. You heard it from Mark himself.
If it wasn't for Daredevil,
awesome.
your turtles would not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my number one would not be.
Your number one would be Daredevil.
Number
Yeah.
one would just be blank.
Yeah.
It's just like, I noticed something here.
Yeah.
I know there was something that was better than
Like
this.
Doctor Who, where someone gets erased from time. You just
Yeah,
you remember them slightly.
I do.
Oh.
Your number two, then Ben or Kier?
Well, mine is the Merc with a Mouth, Deadpool. And it's just
good choice. Deadpool.
again, it's just like Deadpool is kind of like the opposite side of Punisher in that his violence is replaced with just humor, because Deadpool is humor, but there's a really sad side to Deadpool in that like pretty much Deadpool's only wish is to die, and just like he physically can't now, and he's in constant pain from his body constantly being morphed by cancer, and he's gone insane. And just like whilst that does generate great humor,
Yeah.
it's also come from quite a dark place, and I really like books where it like explores Deadpool's more dark side, and just like the fact that at his core he is just like a military guy who got cancer and knew he was going to die, and now he just can't die, and all he wants to do is die. It's a really quite tragic story, Deadpool, and a lot of people don't realise that.
But there's a lot of things like when you said the humour. I watched they did a Wolverine versus Hulk cartoon, and Deadpool was in that.
Yeah.
And
Voiced by Nolan North.
Uh,
Who's absolute legend.
Thank you. And one of the things that it made me laugh, I don't know why, but he gets his arm cut off by Wolverine,
Yeah,
and
and
he's laughing about it and talking to him and making puns while he's putting it back on.
And he's just like muttering to himself, like, oh, it looks like bacon. Oh, no, that's the wrong way around. Oh, and it's just like constantly like. It's funny, but at the same time, it's really quite dark and disturbing. He is literally toying around with his own arm and making jokes.
I love a bit from the comics. He speaks to Kitty Pryde, and she goes to her. Have you played Street Fighter? He goes, no, that's for geeks, and he shurikens her. Just stuff like that. It's just
Just
hilarious.
shout, sure you can, yeah.
Yeah, and she does shuriken her as well. She does it properly. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of like the Frankenstein of Marvel, isn't he?
He is, except for Franken Punisher. Yeah, that happened.
I don't doubt that happens.
No, that really did happen, and that's just again, this is the funny side
What's
of
your
Punisher.
number two then, Kier, my friend?
My number two is Captain America, which I have his shield.
The boy in red, white, and blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the one. Was he the first superhero to be created, or that's Superman?
That's Superman. That is definitely Superman.
But he wasn't originally DC. He was a little comic company, and they bought him.
But yeah, onto Cap himself.
Captain
I mean,
America.
it's the underdog story, really, isn't it?
It's kind of the same thing as Spider-Man, but it's also, for me, it's because of the way that he stands up to everyone.
Yeah.
And even when he didn't have his powers and he was just like me, he was still he could still go like all day getting kicked the crap out of, and he didn't want to run away because he didn't want to start that.
And it was good as well in the sense that he was created to help against like the Nazis and stuff, to help bring morale more to Americans and British people to, because at the moment they were quite low morale because of the war. Then when he came around, same with Superman, they were able to help. Because didn't he fight Hitler a few times in the comics, isn't he?
He did, yeah. And he also had help from the Human Torch.
Yes, who was a robot at the time.
Yeah, it was pre-Fantastic Four. They had the Human Torch and a smaller, younger version of the Human Torch.
And the Submariner, Namor, King of Atlantis. But yeah, it's just going back to his origin though, it's just like if you look at Spider-Man, I mean, like he's an arsehole when he first gets his powers. It really is, and like he pays for that. But with Cap, it's through sheer force of will, and just like even though he's the underdog and weak and puny, he just through sheer force of will he rises to become that man and that icon. And that's that's what's really.
And his shield has become so iconic with Marvel and comics itself that if anyone sees his shield, same with like my number 2's logo, as I'm wearing the t-shirt now, people know what it is.
And his shield itself, as a weapon, I think that's genius because it's not a weapon as such, but
it can be used for defense and offense, which is good. Which is
it's a symbol of defense. It's like he can't really kill anyone with that shield easily.
But you could probably knock him out quite, considering it's made out of titanium.
He pretty much uses non-lethal methods most of the time, Cap.
Yeah.
Except when he's fighting Nazis, then he picks up a gun.
Yeah, but Cap. There's many times when Cap just picks up a gun and just unloads. Oh yeah, and your number 2, which
my number 2 would be Batman. Or Batman because he's awesome. I love the fact that he's not a normal human. Yes, he did have a lot of training, but at the same time, though, he's like a normal human which can die anyway. And he's one of those people.
You say normal human. He's one of the ones that you can relate to in some things, but in most ways, he's on that part of that plane of existence that none of us know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like the pinnacle.
But the same sense, though, like it could happen to anyone. All you need is the money and the technology, because someone could potentially.
All you need.
I mean, right, guys. Just if you want to become Batman, just like work your way up and have really, really rich parents who own a major corporation and have them orphaned. I mean, it's simple.
Have yourself orphaned.
No, not have your parents orphaned.
Although
if you want, you could have your parents orphaned and then orphan yourself. I mean, if you really want to go through with it.
And also have Morgan Freeman.
Yes,
well, and Michael
helps.
Caine as your own brother.
And
we have Michael Caine.
And he was also trained by Zeus as well.
He was trained by Zeus?
Yeah.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah, of course.
I forgot Liam Neeson was the god.
Or Qui-Gon Jinn, true. It's called to be Batman. And also as well, the other thing I love about Batman is the sense that, he's a human and his robes are so good as well. That's the great thing about Batman. His villains make him as well. Like the Joker, like how such yin and yang between the two of them are, just how opposite they are and how they work together. Him and like Two-Face, and just I think it's a really cool character, and his costumes that he wears.
And even like the Riddler, because even watching Batman Forever, I watched Batman Forever last night. It was on TV, just to remind myself how terrible that film is. But still, when you watch it, you see part of the Riddler and the way that he works with Two-Face against Batman. It's the same sort of thing as the Joker. He's given Batman a run for his money.
And love the fact that
but not being physically dominant.
And love the fact how with Batman, even though he's a human, he uses his brain to beat his like enemies as well. It's not just about his brawn. He uses his brain. That's why it's called the world's greatest detective. And I've seen videos of him being like someone who's like 50 times his size, like that. I think that's why he works so well, because he's one of those people that he could beat anyone on their day. I reckon he could probably beat the Hulk. If the Hulk was fighting really
my argument has always been like, if Batman knew what he was up against and had enough time to prepare, Batman could take anyone.
Yeah, of course.
Like the Green Lantern with painting himself yellow in the yellow room.
He traps Green Lantern in a completely yellow room, paints himself completely yellow and Robin yellow, just so that he can't be affected by Green Lantern's powers.
Really?
Yeah, that happens.
That's amazing.
He doesn't get Robin to paint himself, he paints Robin. If there was ever more of an argument for Batman and Robin being gay, it's that right there.
Wait, Robin. Don't go in there. First we need to do this.
Let me get my roller.
What's your number 2 in HP?
My number 2, I believe we're on to number 1 now, aren't we?
Have you not done...
How do you know you're not doing your number 2?
because it went me, Mark.
I thought I did Deadpool as my number 2.
Oh, alright, sorry, Kier, number 1 then, bud. Sorry, I forgot.
We already touched on it, it's Spider-Man.
Which is also mine.
Yeah. But Spider-Man has always been my favourite hero. He's one of the first ones I got into, which is always helps. But I think, as well as it, like you said, him being, he could be anyone, and there's that part, all of us. There's a part of him in all of us. For me, the thing that really sold it was the Venom storyline when he first gets the black suit.
Oh yeah.
And he
Venom's
split
awesome.
between when it's Peter Parker who's got the black suit, and he's splitting himself between good and bad. It's that part of him, because like with Batman and the Punisher, that dark side is what's helping them fight good. But he's always been, because of his uncle and what happened to his uncle. He's always been it's not who he is.
No.
And it splits him. And it's nice to see someone that a superhuman going through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, while you would see Cap like pick up a gun if necessary, Spider-Man just would not do that. Ever.
No.
It's completely goes against his creed.
Same with like Batman as well. He's one of those superheroes as well.
Yeah, but
who would never kill.
Batman like has the capacity for killing. You know he could kill anyone and like wants to kill people, but it's only because of that key moral that holds him back.
That thing where he said, "I don't use guns." He may not use handguns, but he mounts
Fucking big ass grenade launchers. It's just
but he doesn't actually.
I don't use guns, but
it's
it's high explosives on the other hand.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it to people. He does it more to like cars and stuff as well. And and maybe a reason why he doesn't kill people is because he knows what it's like to go for that, and he doesn't want to be like the killer, or Jack Napier, whoever it was who killed his parents, because he doesn't want to feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Spider-Man, I mean, just like, it really highlighted me. Like, I'm reading Avengers vs. X-Men at the moment, and I'll try not to spoil anything, but it's just like, there is like a really big moment at the moment that like happened, and like Spider-Man takes on two of probably the most powerful entities the Marvel Universe has seen, and pretty much just through sheer mocking them, ends up defeating them both.
That's why I love
inadvertently.
Spider-Man. Oh, he's
And it's just
everyone.
It's a glorious thing to behold, and it's just like it's a real like personification of like everything Spider-Man back, because it's self-sacrificing, it's funny, and it's touching, and it's
why
everything.
That's why I enjoyed the new Spider-Man film, because I found Andrew Garfield was perfect Spider-Man, because he was both witty and like that as well. Basically, that's why I liked him so much.
There were a lot of people that were saying, "I don't like it because there were so many one-liners in it." That's what's wrong with Hollywood.
It's freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he's
Spider-Man
always
does.
quippy.
Yeah, that's why I love the casting as well. He was so quippy to everyone. That's why he's so funny.
I can't remember who was fighting, but he jumped up onto the ceiling and they said, "Come down here and fight like a man." He said, "I don't suppose I can persuade you to come up here and fight like a spider."
It's just like, to quote Spider-Man directly, it's just like, well, my fans expect a certain amount of quippage in every fight with a villain.
I think the one I'm reading at the moment is Spider Island. I've nearly finished it. And basically, if you don't know what happens, the Jackal, one of Spider-Man's old villains, he cloned Peter Parker at one point. And so this clone is called, I think it's called Richard, I can't remember.
But the end result is pretty much that the whole of New York ends up getting Spider-Man powers.
Basically,
Nice.
and it's because there's a bit in it where they're all got Spider-Man powers, and naturally there'll be quite a few people, especially in New York, that then they use them powers to go and steal things, and they rise up eventually against the police. And there's a moment when the Avengers and the Fantastic Four come to fight all of these criminals, but the Jackal's given them Spider-Man costumes. All of his various ones that he's used over the years, like copies of them. So when Spider-Man does eventually swing in, they end up started fighting him. And there's a moment where he gets bruised and beaten. He leaves, obviously, because to make it easier for them, so they don't, every time they turn around and punch on, they don't have to worry, was that Peter? But he leaves, and then it's another one of those moments that's quite human about Spider-Man, because he's powerless even with everything that he's got. But even so, he uses the internet
Internet!
The internet!
He basically gets a camera, and through the magic of comic books, he streams directly from this camera online, as you do.
As you do.
As you do.
And he says that and he basically puts a cry out to all of the decent people in New York to come with him, and he introduces him as Peter Parker, not Spider-Man. He says to come with him and show the police and everyone else what we can do, because that's not New York what they're seeing right now. So that's
it's good moments like that where like Spider-Man like becomes a part of New York, because there's a lot of good moments like that because it's really his city. As much as like the Fantastic Four and the Avengers live there, it's really Spider-Man's city.
And you can tell that because every superhero that's been in New York has been in Spider-Man. Daredevil and
Punisher has been in there.
And Johnny Storm, Human Torch, often racist Spider-Man around New York.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone in the Marvel Universe has been in a Spider-Man book at some point.
Yeah, because Spider-Man is their mascot, basically.
Anyway, I think that's about us done for this mini.
No, mine
No,
number
no, no,
one.
no,
What's your number one?
Oh, damn.
Wait,
Oh,
no.
no, we've run out of time.
Wait. Oh, wait.
My number one.
I wonder what it
cheeky
could be.
bastards. My number one is Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As you probably
Wait,
have
what?
guessed.
What?
I know. It's insane, isn't it?
Wait.
You just pulled that one out of the hat.
I know.
Oh, that blew my mind.
I love him.
just- But here's the question mark.
What?
Why?
Just the fact, just how cool he is, how he's like, how I kind of feel connected to him as he's like the serious character. He loves his family, would do anything for them. He would do anything for his like sensei.
He's also the leader of the four, isn't he?
Yeah. He's leader of the four, and he's someone who's gone through a lot of turmoil in his life. Like there's in one comic book where he fights against all of the shredders, like the foot ninjas, his foot elite, and the shredder himself, and he's basically like half dead. And because of that, he's able to recharge and realise actually I need my family needs me, and when he leaves to find himself, he realises actually my family need me, and I've got to like be good to them, and I've got to lead them properly against the foot. And
He's just a born leader.
yeah.
Simple as that.
And I love his weapons as well, and he's got like one of the reasons I like him so much. When I was younger, still now my favourite colour is blue, and I was really attached to people in blue. I just love the fact, and because his he wore blue, and because his characteristics are quite like mine, because I love my family, that sort of thing. I feel connected to him as well.
See, my favourite colour was green, so I love them all. Except Michelangelo, because he's dumb.
I like Michelangelo.
Yeah, he's
Michelangelo's
dumb.
cool.
He's the least combat worthy. He uses
Yeah.
the worst weapon.
But that's just the
And he's
best
an
bit about
idiot.
him.
Yeah,
There's
that's
always the one Joker, and it had to be
Yeah.
Michelangelo.
Yeah, because if you notice, you have four different types of people. You have the serious.
Leonardo, he has two swords.
Yeah.
Straight down to business.
Don't know-
Raphael has got the daggers
Sai.
up close and
Sai.
personal.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know the names. Donatello's got his wooden stick, which
Bow.
is
Mm-hmm.
nice and blunt and to the point, like him. And then Michelangelo's got the spinny sticks.
Yeah, the
Pretty
nunchaku.
useless sticks.
But that's the thing about them as well. Like each four of the turtles are so distinctive between the four of them. Like if someone said to you, "What's your favourite turtle?" Everyone has a different turtle that they love. And also, like you've got Leonardo, as I said earlier, my favourite because he's like the lead and that sort of thing. You got Michelangelo, who's the Joker, fun-loving one, a bit like me as well. Donatello, who's the geeky, smart one, a bit like me as well. And Raphael, the sarcastic, who's also the sarcastic.
A bit like you as well.
Yeah, he's sarcastic.
All the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I know, but except I don't have his anger issues, which is all right.
I know you're saying that. You guys haven't seen him. As soon as his camera goes off,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he beats us.
Just
With my own shoe.
I've only been on one and he beats me.
I know.
That's all the time we got for that top 5 then, guys. Thank you back. Come back here, you bastard.
I have to say though, I do feel kind of like a marriage counsellor in between you two.
I know.
Well,
So Ben, how does that make you feel?
Well, guys, that's
can we just end this session? What do I owe you?
Well,
£1,000.
What?
Well then, guys, that's. I'm trying to do the outro.
Fine, do it.
I thought we were doing a quiz.
We will be in a second.
That's in the second part. Look
Yes.
forward to that.
I
Yeah,
just got
Tune in next time, folks. Anyway, he's Mark.
he's Kier.
And that's Ben.
So, cheers, guys. Stay geeky.